What's up, everybody? This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman, your host of Mr. Gentleman Like That podcast, and this week's sponsorship is from Newsly. Newsly is a all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android. It picks up web articles about the most trending topics on the web at any given moment and read them to you in a natural human voice. For the first time in ever on the internet, the entire web becomes listenable, all in one place. Browse articles from topic you choose, start playing, start strolling, and start listening. You can follow any topic as you specifically as you like, from sports, science to Bitcoin, even for the Kardashians. It will find you on the latest article and you read them to you out loud. And they have podcasts as well. Explore trending podcasts from over 50 countries. Our podcast, Mr. Gentleman Like That podcast, is on there as well. Yes, it is. Shout out to Newsly for that. I start using it as my default podcast app. Download and use Newsly for free from www.newsly.me or from the link in the description. Use the promo code Mr. Gentleman that I will also put in the description and receive 1 month free premium subscription. So you already know, y'all, download Newsly now. Check it out. Support them, y'all. This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman, your host of Mr. Gentleman Like That podcast, and enjoy the show. You are now listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast Season 5. Yes, hello everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman, 1/4 of the Premier Way podcast, and your host of Mr. Gentleman Like That podcast. Welcome to another new episode of Mr. Gentleman Like That podcast. Hope all is well. Originally, this was supposed to be a conversation about music episode, but due to scheduling, we had to push that episode back until next week. So instead, I'm going to push up the episode that I originally have for next week and put up for this episode. So you already know. So we got a special guest. She is the author. She brought us 2 books for us today: The Crisis of Lust and The Planting of a Blossom Me. So we're going to talk to her about both her books and many more. And y'all already know what to do. Sit back, relax, and I'll be right back.
This is Laquita from the Queen and Me podcast, and you're listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And at the time, I would be giving you Mr. Gentleman Facts quote of the day. And today's quote of the day is, to get something done, sometimes you just have to make the first shot. And what I mean by that is sometimes I think things will get handed to you, but sometimes you just have to make the first move to get something done. So sometimes you got to just take a shot, whether it's with somebody you're interested in, whether it's somewhere, a career, whether it's something, a guest who you want on your show, you sometimes have to take that first shot. And that is today with the Gentleman Facts quote of the day. Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman of Mr. Gentleman Like That podcast. And This commercial break is brought to you by Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, where we bring many guests telling about their stories about their brand they got going on. Also about me telling y'all my personal stories about things that are going on in my life. Also, we have many spin-off shows on Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast called The Old School Show with myself and the Star Writing Rod, where we talk anything old school, which happen every 4th or 5th Sunday at 12 a.m. on the Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast Network. And another spin-off show called A Conversation About Music Podcast, where we talk to many artists about their music journey. And also we have a roundtable music discussion about anything music, and which should come on every first Sunday at 12 a.m. on Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast Network. And yeah, you already know, if y'all need a podcast to listen to, check out Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. We're on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Good Pod, and many more. Y'all can rate the show 5-star rating on Good Pod, Podchaser, and Apple Podcasts. You know, the more y'all rate, the more love the show get. Y'all can also check it out on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube now. Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle TV. And also support the website of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, Mr. Gentleman Lifestylepodcast.com. This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman, and have a good day, night, wherever you're listening to this episode. Back to the show.
My name is Eliza Rose, and you are listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast.
Yes, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And at this time, I got my special guest. She is an author and a poet. She bringing us 2 books today. One called Crisis or Less, and the Planting the Seeds of Blasphemy. We got Miss Estelle Rose in the building. Miss Estelle, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. Things as well.
Yes, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So we'll start with, my audience to get to know you a little better. So let us know, where are you from?
I'm from Brooklyn, New York City.
Okay, there you go. So if you could describe one word, what would that word be and why?
Describe one word about myself, or
yeah, about yourself, yeah.
I guess creative, because that's my whole being. I've always been a creative mind since I was a kid.
Okay, so and we're gonna get to more about you growing up and stuff in a moment. So what would you like to do? What would you like to do at your own time?
I like to read, watch TV shows, do some writing, talk to friends. That's pretty much it.
Okay, there you go. So let's talk about your beginning of life. So how was you growing up?
I was a very active kid. I was outside hanging out with friends. I loved English class. That's pretty much it. I didn't really do much. I mean, I've done all the teenage stuff that you do as a kid. Those parties and hanging out and going to the mall, things like that. But that's pretty much, I didn't really do anything else that was interesting.
All right. So how, everything that you've been through as a kid made you the person that you are today?
Ooh, heavy question. So I went through something very traumatic when I was a teen, from 14 to 15, and it really damaged how I, dealt with relationships with boyfriends and my mother and things like that. And so as I grew up and stuff like that, I had to learn to heal on my own and make sure I look for certain things in relationships that was to value me and to get over certain things for myself, learn how to find self-love and, commitment and, be an adult because a lot of those things still held on to me for a really long time. Even when I was in college for my bachelor's degree, I had to go to therapy because I was having nightmares. So it was just really just trying to figure out how to move on from certain things. And it's in the poetry book too. So.
And yes, we're gonna talk more about your books, because I'm looking forward to hearing more about your books. but before we get to that, like, what inspired you to become a writer, and what age did you start?
Well, I started writing at 14, right? But it was really English class that really got to me. It was we did screenwriting practice and short stories and essays and things like that, and I really enjoyed it. So when I went through that traumatic experience that I was talking about, I needed a way to get it out, so I wrote it down. Like, I started writing it not only in a diary. I had like 20 diaries, but I also took it out of the diary and wanted to make it a story, and I was going to publish it. Because at that time I felt like everybody needs to be put on the spot. Like, I was like, I'm going to embarrass everybody. I'm going to tell what I went through. And then I stopped and I was like, wait, I don't think this is a good idea. So I left that, and then I just branched off into just writing more poetry. And then as I went into school and stuff like that, it took off into trying short stories and my first novels and stuff like that.
Okay, nice. That's dope. That's dope. And today you brought us 2 books. We're talking about 2 books you brought to us today.
Yeah.
So we got Crisis of Lust, and then you also got The Planting of the Seed That Blouses Me. So first, let's talk about the Crisis of Lust. So, what is that about? How you got that together, and just explain what that book's about.
Okay, so the book is about a relationship that has trouble because the woman has insecurity, so she lets everything get the best of her. So her boyfriend is a hardworking man, and she feels like he puts work first and is losing their relationship, and she don't know how to handle it. So uncoincidentally, she ends up sleeping with a cab driver that took her home after her and her boyfriend had a fight, but it took them like a couple scenes to get to that part. It was just getting to know him, and then they slept together, and then he turns around, he's creepy, he's obsessed with her, he's a stalker, he's trying to get to her, he wants to do anything to have her. So he tries to ruin their relationship by killing somebody.
Oh wow.
And that came up from school. Actually, when I was getting my master's, that was a 2-year in the making, because it started with school and we did peer reviews and all these other things to help make that a story. And so I just took it and I said, I'm going to make this the first book. It wasn't planned to be the first novel, but it was so progressed in the last 2 years that I said, I'm just going to write it, get it done, and put it out there. And then it wasn't even supposed to be romantic suspense. It was going to be regular romance, but it needed spice. And I was watching you, and I came up with some ideas and added certain things to it. And it just became some chaotic story that's now available for readers.
I'm not gonna lie, that book sounds really, really interesting. I'm about to get it myself, but let my audience know, where can they get this book? Like, where can they get this book?
For now, it's available on Amazon. It's on Kindle Unlimited, Kindle Regular, and paperback.
Okay, dope. So now let's talk about the second book. Planting the Seed That Blouses Me. Yes. Tell us about that book.
So that's just a combination of all the poetry that I wrote from a kid, all the way to a little bit of what I had up until my master's degree. And I just put them all together and published them because, some of my friends have seen it in high school. And then I was like, maybe I should just publish it so everybody else could see it, because, it's a lot, and it's real good poems in it. And it shows the development of change and teenage drama and problems that you go through with your family, your friends, your relationships, and stuff like that. So I just posted it for everybody, and that's also available on Amazon too.
There you go. I was just about to ask you, let them know where to get it. So get both of them on Amazon. Support her, man. Amazing books. Support her. So when your audience reads your book, what can they expect?
Well, for Crisis of Lust, they can expect some twists, some spice, sex, some drama, some girls hanging out with girls, guys hanging out with their guys, the obsession, of like I gotta get her at no cost, and the character that's that crazy, like that he also has a sister that's a part of his plan, and then for planting the seeds that blossom is just poetry transitions from like love and pain and womanhood, so they can just expect, I guess, development.
Okay, nice. So as the author, what is the hardest part of being an author? If you can name like at least maybe 3 things, if you can.
The hardest part about being an author is the motivation to actually write. So you just sit there and you be like, oh, I'm gonna write, and then you sit in front of the computer, and sometimes it's like, how do I begin? And then you sit there and you're stuck like, okay, do I start this way, that way, or you just get it done and get it down? And then it's also, you have so many ideas that you don't know which one you want to start or you want to continue. I don't write like 5 books at one time. I write one and then the next and then the next. I know people that do more than that. Yeah. But my brain is always looking for new ideas. So I'll be watching TV and be like, oh, that's a good storyline. And then I'll write it down. Yeah. And then the hard part, like I said, just getting to the next one, because I sit there and I'm like, how do I bring up the next story? Like, okay, this is done. Now I need to write another one. And then Crisis of Lust, people are asking for a part 2. So like, yeah, giving me more work to do. There's always something else to write. It's like never ending.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, that writer's block is always like the worst. So yeah. I can relate, when I used to do music, you used to write songs, the writer's block has always been the hardest. So I definitely understand how you feel about that.
Yeah, and the revision is not fun either, because you're constantly changing things and trying to revise stuff, and the introduction is the most important part. So you're sitting there like, how do I make this grab reader's attention?
That's true. Yeah. You gotta make a first good impression. So
yeah, exactly.
So
how many times I changed Crisis of Lust introduction? Like I didn't revise it like 3-4 times until it came out to the right one.
Hey, but at least you got it done.
Yeah, done.
So, do you have a favorite author or poet? If so, do you name them?
Yes, Zane and Cairo are my top 2 for novels. I read all their work. I also like Alison Hobbs. And for poets, I think I'll say Anais Nin. That's very throwback, but her work is very raw and vulgar, and she didn't hold back. And that's kind of like what my poetry is like. It's like very straight to the point. Like, oh shoot, that happened. It makes people feel the same emotions.
Okay, dope. All right, so as you know, we are in a pandemic, and I like to ask all my guests about this question because everybody had different type of stories. So I want to know, how did the pandemic affect you, and what did you learn from it?
The pandemic didn't really do anything for me. I mean, I guess it motivated me to just crack down on my writing. I'm already a stay-at-home mom, so all I'm doing is taking care of my children. But now I have time to balance the things that I want to do for me. Because if you're constantly outside going crazy, it's hard to balance everything. So, so it just helped me say, okay, I'm gonna get up and drink some coffee and then feed the kids, and then after this is a little bit of me time, and then do other things around the house, and then try to focus on back to writing again, because I have to squeeze in writing in between 2 kids. So the pandemic has just made everybody stay home.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, it's that on relationships, but there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't know if we good now or not, but Yeah,
Right.
we're doing a weird time. Let's do a weird time.
Yeah, it needs to be over.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree, 100%. So let dive off that question. Let's dive off that topic, and I want to ask you, what is your dream venture? Something that you always want to do.
Travel to Paris.
Oh wow, that's the thing. That's the thing that I want to do too. Actually, that's one place I always want to go.
Yes. Paris, Disney, all of that.
Yeah, that definitely do sound fun. I'm not gonna lie, that do be sound fun. And what other project that you got going on that you have not announced yet?
Well, I do have a second novel already written.
Oh wow!
And I'm just waiting to have it reviewed and read by other people before that comes out. But I don't think I'm gonna drop that one until like maybe August. And then I have short stories that I'm planning on coming out with by maybe July.
Okay, nice. Big things.
Yes.
So what do you have to say for anybody that's gonna sing about you? Like, say something inspirational.
If you feel like you are lacking confidence in doing what makes you happy as far as work or your relationships, you could just look in the mirror and tell yourself that you can do it. Never be afraid to crack open a book and start writing. Never be afraid to, say this is not for you, because at the end of the day, you have to do what's right for you.
There you go. So before you go, we're gonna play a segment game, and this game is called 5 Random Topics. where I ask you 5 topics, and you give me your answer, or like long, short response on what I ask you. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what is your favorite era of music and why?
I would have to say the early 2000s, because I don't know. It's just the music was just like my favorite. Like, I love all of the songs, the bands, even like some of the 90s. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, just all that soulful songs, and I still play them to this day. I play a lot of Day 26 and Jodeci's and 112s and some Beyonce all the time. B2K if I have to. Some Tamia.
Okay, there you go. And I'm not gonna lie. A lot of my guests say the same answer.
Because it's the best time of music.
It is. Old school music is always the best music. I agree.
Exactly.
I said the same answer as well. So what is your favorite go-to movie?
Ooh, so hard. My favorite go-to movie I would say is Love and Basketball. You watch that all the time.
Okay, that's almost everybody go-to movie. Not me though, but that's everybody go-to movie though. Who is one celebrity that you want to meet?
I'm gonna say Quincy. That was hard too, because I have so many in my mental Rolodex. But Quincy seems like a cool person. Diddy's son.
Oh yeah. Dope. Who do you want to see a versus?
Oh man, I want to see Toni Braxton versus, I don't know, somebody that'll match him. I want to say maybe Mariah, but then I don't know if that's going to be a good pair up. But I feel like they both have enough to go against each other.
Yeah, I know. When me and my team were talking about this, we just said Mariah versus Toni. So I mean, it's possible. It could possibly happen. Or Toni versus Mary. I'd say Toni versus Mary, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be good too.
Yeah, that'd be.
They need to do it though.
I mean, who knows? Tim Swiss, if you're listening,
right?
Yeah, set that up. And last one, what is one food or maybe several foods that you hate?
I'm gonna say seafood because I don't like the smell and I'm already allergic anyway.
Wow.
Can't stand the smell. It gets on my nerves. And what else? do I hate? Also maybe peas. I don't really make it in the house. It's not a favorite.
Yeah, I think that was everybody not favorite food. I understand the peas part. Yeah, and not everybody favorite food. But Miss Rose, thank you for coming on the show. It was definitely fun, and I'm looking forward to reading your book. Cause I'm gonna get on Kindle. I'm gonna get on Kindle and get the hard copy later. So I'm definitely gonna support you. But thank you for coming on, and it was a good conversation. So before you go, let my drop your social media where everybody could reach you, and also I'm dropping your books. Basically, drop all your information. This is your time.
Okay, so you can follow me on Instagram at author Eliza _Rose. I have Facebook on the author Eliza Rose. If you want to put the at, it's at Eliza Rose Writes. And I have my Amazon account, which is on the author / Eliza Rose. And also have my blog, Shade But No Shade, on WordPress. There's so many social medias.
I know, it's a lot.
And Twitter at LILMZK22.
Okay, there you go. Everybody support her, get her books. Crisis of Lust and Planted the Seed of Blossom Me. Get it, y'all, on Amazon, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gemini. I'm Mr. Gemini like the podcast and the Premier Boy podcast. And this commercial break is brought to you by Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast spin-off shows. And Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast has many spin-off shows, but we're going to talk about this one fan favorite spin-off show called The Old School Show with myself and the star writer Rod, where we talk anything old school, from movies, music, TV shows, childhood memories, and many more. Love this show because of this nostalgic feel, and it always been fun when we have many special guests come to the show. And you know, if y'all want to check out this spin-off show, y'all can check it out every 4th and sometimes 5th Sunday at 12 a.m. Every 4th and sometimes 5th Sunday at 12 a.m. Also, we have another spin-off show called A Conversation About Music Podcast, where we talk to many unsigned artists about their music journey, and we play their song on the show, so many audience could know about their music. I wanted to create a platform from unsigned artists so they could come on the show, and so we could spread the word so everybody could take the time and take out their music and stuff like that. Also on the show, we have many roundtable discussion about music. And y'all want to check out this show, y'all can check it out every first Sunday at 12 a.m. Every first Sunday at 12 a.m. You can check out both spin-off shows on Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast Network. And of course, we have many more spin-off shows coming real soon. But you can check out The Old School Show and A Conversation About Music Podcast right now. And this is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman, from Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast. And have a good day or night wherever you're listening to this episode. Now back to the show. Cheers! I just want to take a time to thank everybody for tuning into this latest episode of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Thanks to my special guest, Miss Eliza Rose, for coming on the show. You know, keep doing your thing. And everybody check out her 2 books, The Crisis of Lust and The Planting the Seed of Blossom Me. Both of them is out now, so support her. They are both on Amazon, and support her, y'all. And y'all can currently check out the season 1 and season 2 of the Premier Boy Podcast with myself, Mr. Aaron Sands, the star writer Rod, and Long Live the Chief Mally Mal. If y'all heard the finale of the Premier Boy Podcast, y'all already know that I took a step back from the team, and it's just a lot of things going on with me But don't worry, I will explain everything about the Premier Podcast and everything that's been going on with me on the season 5 finale of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, which most likely be in July, but we got time for that. But y'all already know where I'm at every Sunday with the Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast each night Sunday at 12 a.m. We're on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Good Pods, and many more. Y'all can rate the show now. 5-star rating on Spotify, Good Pods, Apple Podcasts, Podchaser. Because, the more y'all rate the show, the more people could know about the show. And y'all already know, but the Gentleman Like the Podcast presents the old school show, myself and the Star Riding Rod, every 4th or 5th Sunday at 12 a.m. But the Gentleman Like the Podcast presents a conversation about music podcast season 1 finale next Sunday at a special day. It's usually on first Sunday, but it will be next Sunday at 12 a.m. And Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast presents Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B. Every third Thursday. We're going to go with every third Thursday for now until me and Miss Vanna B figure out how we're going to do the show and how we're going to work on the schedule and stuff like that. So for now, we're going to go to every third Thursdays at 12 a.m. for now. So yeah. Also, I want to give a shout out to this podcast show by the name of Drunken Idiots. I had the honor to be on a show this past Friday. It was a different and fun experience to go on a show. Really good vibe. Dope fellas, man. Shout out to Jordan, Mikey, Michael, and Memphis. Shout out to the Drunken Idiots, man. Y'all can check out their show on YouTube and on Trips every Friday at 9:30. Drunken Idiots. Shout out to them, man. Y'all could add me on Good Pod, Kim, the Gentleman on Good Pod. Good Pod catered to many independent podcasters. Y'all can rate the show, see what everybody listening to. And we are also on the charts. And right now, I am through number 1 for documentary for a whole month, y'all. That is crazy. I've been number 1 for a whole month for documentary show. Thank God, man. Thank God. It means a lot. We are currently number 20-something for top 100 shows. And we are currently number 5 for society and culture. So once again, thank you to everybody that's been supporting the Gentleman Like the Podcast. It means a lot. Thank you to everybody that's been reading my article on LA. Shout out LA. It means a lot. And thank you for everybody that is interested in knowing more about my story, about my childhood, about everything that I'm doing, stuff like that. It means a lot, y'all. And thank y'all for the support, y'all. Y'all didn't understand. Y'all don't understand how much it means to me. Check out the website. The relaunch of the website is out now. www.realmrgentlemanlikethepodcast.com www.realmrgentlemanlikethepodcast.com Support the website. And y'all can support the merch as well. With the Gentleman Store at T Public. All info is in the show notes, y'all. All links is in the show notes. And if y'all want to be in my show, on the main series, Date Night Talk, the old school show, conversating about music, y'all can email about yourself and everything that you do to my email, kenypgent@gmail.com, kenypgent@gmail.com, or hit me up on social media, IG, Twitter, and many more. Ken_Mr. Gentleman. I repeat, Ken, KEN_Mr. MR Gentleman, GENTLEMAN. Follow me on Twitter, Ken Mr. Gentleman, all together. So yeah, and once again, thank y'all for tuning into this latest episode of Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast. Have a good day or night wherever you're listening to this episode.
Hey, my name is Cece, and you are listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast.